Hello and welcome to this video on GCSE English Literature Paper 2. This is relevant if you're doing the AQA course, and in this video we're going to look at the very final question on this paper, which is the second unseen poetry question. Now, if you're watching this video, I recommend that you go onto my website and download the knowledge organizer because I'm going to be using this to take you through this question. You can get this if you go to amysmithliterature.wordpress.com, go to GCSE English Literature, go to Unseen Poetry, download this, print it out or whatever, get it on your phone so that you can see and follow along with this video. So what are you going to be asked to do on this section of the exam paper? Well, you're given a second unseen poem. You've already done one unseen poem. We've looked at that in the previous video. So you get a second unseen poem and you're asked to compare it to the first poem, and you have 15 minutes. So we've got the method on the screen here, and I'm going to take you through this method in the video. A couple of the things that we look at might be slightly different from how your teacher has taught you to do that, and that is absolutely fine. Just give this method a go and see how it works for you. Now we're going to read the first poem again. I know we've already read it in the previous video, but as you read and reread text, you uncover layers of meaning. Even though I've read, for example, Macbeth probably about 50 times by now, every time I read it, I find something new. So we're going to read it again. Sea Fever by John Masefield. I must go down to the seas again, to the lonely sea in the sky, and all I ask is a tall ship and a star to steer her by, and the whales kick and the wind's song and the white sails shaking, and a grey mist on the sea's face and a grey dawn breaking. I must go down to the seas again, for the call of the running tide is a wild call and a clear call that may not be denied, and all I ask is a windy day with the white clouds flying, and the flung spray and the blown spume and the sea gulls crying. I must go down to the seas again, to the vagrant gypsy life, to the gull's way and the whale's way, where the wind's like a whetted knife. And all I ask is a merry yarn from a laughing fellow rover, and quiet sleep and a sweet dream when the long trick's over. Okay, so we've looked at that poem in the previous video. Now we're going to look at today's poem, the new one for today, which is Travel by Edna St. Vincent Millay. So let's read this. The railroad track is miles away and the day is loud with voices speaking. Yet there isn't a train goes by all day, but I hear its whistle shrieking. All night there isn't a train goes by, though the night is still for sleep and dreaming. But I see its cinders red on the sky and I hear its engine steaming. My heart is warm with the friends I make, and better friends I'll not be knowing. Yet there isn't a train I wouldn't take, no matter where it's going. Okay, pause the video, read it again a couple of times, and then start the video again when you're ready. We've looked at this method in the previous video. I'm going to lump the first three things together. We'll do that first, then we're going to look at verbs, then we're going to look at imagery, and then we're going to actually answer the question. So with this particular poem, I want you to divide it into sections and then label each section. So pause the video, do that, start the video again when you're ready. Right, here are my sections. It nicely falls into three stanzas. So the first stanza is about the daytime noise and the busyness. Second stanza about nighttime disturbances. And the third stanza is about this longing to travel. So now I've done that, I'm going to think about the verbs. So pause the video, jot down where you think you see a verb, and then start the video again when you're ready. I'm always really anxious when I do this in case I make a mistake. But anyway, here are the verbs that I have found. I'm not going to think about all of them. I'm going to think about some specific ones, the ones that really stand out to me and I think I could write about. And when I'm looking and making those decisions about which ones I'm going to focus on, I think through these questions. What is the level of energy? Is it an imperative verb? Is it a modal verb? Is it active or passive? Any other connotations? That kind of thing. And here I've picked shrieking, steaming and going because they really show the energy and the excitement of the train. The other thing that I notice about these verbs is that they're all in the present tense, so it's almost as if there's a real sense of urgency and immediacy in this poem. Next thing to do then is to look for the images. If you've downloaded the knowledge organizer, you can see on that I've put a list of the images and their possible meanings. So pause the video, look for the images, start the video again when you're ready. Right, here are the ones that really stick out to me. We've got the railroad track, the train, night, and the engine. Now, what you might notice and what you might be saying to me is, Miss, the railroad track and the train are not on your list of images. Okay, the list of images is the most common images that you will see in poetry, but there might be additional ones or different ones or have slightly different meanings. So use that list as a guide rather than as a hard and fast rule. The image of the train, the engine, is something about technology, about how we can travel further and faster as technology improves. The sheer speed of that is really quite exciting because you can get to a distant country or a different place really, really quickly. The nighttime, that image might be quite oppressive, quite worrying. Nighttime is often to do with fear, but actually there's a real sense of potential here because the trains are still going all through the night. Time now to plan our answer. So the question says, in both sea fever and travel, the speakers describe the excitement of traveling. What are the similarities and or differences between the methods the poets use to present this excitement? Now, this is a comparison question, so I've drawn a table to help me jot down my ideas. And we're going to think of sea fever first. So what I've done here is I've just gone back to the poem and thought, right, how did the poets present the excitement of travel? And what quotation can I use to back that up? So my first idea is that the speaker finds the nature, like traveling in the natural world, thrilling and refreshing. And my quick quotation is the wind's song. So stop the video, find another idea, another quotation to back that up, and then start the video again when you're ready. Okay, you've probably written something different to me, and that is absolutely fine. But I've thought about how the speaker thinks travel will bring him new beginnings, freedom from society. And I've gone with the quotation, the grey dawn breaking, because dawn, when the sun comes up, it's all about new beginnings and possibilities. Also, this idea of the gypsy's life, traveling around, free and liberated and so on. I'm going to do the same thing with the second poem on the second side of the table. So it's over to you. Stop the video, jot down your ideas from the poem and a quotation or two to back it up, and then start the video again when you're ready. So again, my ideas might be different to yours, and that is absolutely fine. So I've jotted down that the train is full of energy and travels to unknown, exciting places. And the quotation, I hear it, engine steaming, backs that up. I've also said that for the writer, travel seems to be more important than friendship, and my heart is warm with the friends I make if there isn't a train I wouldn't take. So I've quickly jotted down my ideas, and you can do that on your exam papers as well. Just do it in the corner somewhere of the exam paper. And then I've written my answer. In the question here, I've highlighted the word methods because that is so important. The examiner is specifically asking you to compare not just the poems, but the methods the poets are using. So yes, they're both about the excitement of traveling, but what particular method links them? Well, I've talked about verbs all the way through these two videos, so it's no surprise that I'm going to look at verbs here. So both speakers are incredibly excited about travel, using dynamic verbs to suggest the energy and enthusiasm travel can bring to their lives. In sea fever, the white clouds are flying and the seagulls are crying. Both phrases suggest transcending quotidian problems and troubles by leaving home. It is true that there is an element of apprehensiveness about travel, particularly shown in the simile like a whetted knife, but the speaker seems to find this invigorating rather than daunting. Similarly, in travel, the verbs shrieking, steaming, and going indicate energy and enthusiasm as well as a slight element of danger. In both poems, the verbs are in the present tense, which creates the impression that the speakers want to immerse themselves in the moment and forget about the future and the past by focusing on the excitement of travel. Now here I've highlighted again in yellow that I've looked at the verbs for both poems. Okay, so I'm comparing the methods, not just the ideas and what the poem's about, but the methods in both poems. What I'm suggesting now is that you stop the video and now you've got all of these ideas in your head, you write your answer to this question. There are sentence starters on the knowledge organizer to help you along with that. So good luck, everyone.